Okay, get input direction, get direction. So now we want to input, and now we want to use two inputs for the blocking and for attacking. So for attacking, we have the trigger, and we have input primary trigger, and we have just the value, and we have the action. We want the action, and we want trigger secondary. Okay, and maybe those should go, or it is not even game logic, it's more as players input. And we're going to put them here. So we got triggered, which is the important part. We want to say get direction, and we run it on ourselves. And we want to do switch on cardinal direction. And for now, we want to just execute one ability that we're going to build, and only that ability, nothing else. So able ability, and we want to create ability context with location. What's that? Oh, interesting. Context. Okay, and the owner of this ability is self. It's our actor. No, not this self. This self. And the instigator is always also self. Sometimes we might want to put instigator at something. Oh, you know what? We're going to put instigator at something else because this is an attack. So we want to also run get current weapon. And when we get the current weapon, we want to say that the instigator is the weapon. So we might access functions directly on the weapon through our ability if we pass it to the ability context. And now the hard part is the ability itself. So we need to construct an object from class, actually get ability object from class, because the ability is already constructed. It's just we need to refer to, hey, get me an ability of this class, and I just want to execute it, basically. And what we have here is the context, and we want to activate ability, which is more like a try activate ability, really. Okay, so we could make this a macro or a function. Let's make that a function. And activate attack ability. This is just a local function, nothing special about it. We just want to refer to the class, attack class, and we want a return node, and we want to have a value of the return, which is an enumerator of what can go wrong or work correctly. So we have this activate attack ability, and now we have this, and every attack from every direction for now will trigger this ability, which we need to build. So we go into abilities, ordinary, just like the tag that we created. And we're going to make, well, actually another ability here, because this will be a template, and we're just going to switch the animation in it. So ability blueprint will be our fantasy ability template. Okay, we call it AB, it's still a template, and attack trigger. Okay, so we got this, and we want to say how our attack in general is going to work. So our ability has a priority of least, so 5. Client can cancel an attack. This is fine. Ability set of stamina required is 6 to execute, or yeah, it's 6 to execute. And we want to go into our template ability, and like we have those two for some reason. We go here and we go into variables, and we have here we can just add spacebar, compile, save, close, and now they are in the same bar. Okay, so client can, priority, stamina required 6. This is our attack. What else do we have here? So this is like starting the ability. So we want to add a task, animation, play animation, and we don't want to refer any animation. We want it to stay empty, but we want this task to be inherited by our other other. Oh, that's interesting. Why I can't change that? Let's see. Long attack forward. So this is like the quick attack, right? Yeah, this is a quick attack with a stab. So we want this to be actually a dynamic montage. And funny thing about dynamic montages is that if we input a montage here already, it will just run the montage, and it will any inputs that we have for the montage will be ignored. But we can just fill it just in case. Like if we forget to input a montage and input just an ability, this will be okay as well. Do we want to play this on the server? No, we don't care about that. We care about the release of the attack, because this is going to be a channeled attack. So it will be like at the startup of the attack, and then it will just continue in a loop that is being channeled. We are not stopping all montages for sure. And now here are some things. Okay, if true, that we need to read. Is this animation looping? No, we want to loop it inside the montage itself. The play rate is 1, yes. Scale with ability play rate, yes, definitely, because if we have some haste rating, then we want to scale animations as well. Stop on interrupt. Animation mid blend if true, static animation it's interrupted. An animation mode is set to ability. First of all, definitely not. Clear query animation in. Okay, I need to make this bigger. Okay, if true, any quid up using the ability animation will be removed as well. We have a queue of the animations. I didn't know about that. Message animation state on end. Animation. We can disable this if you see it cause issues. Animation instance time when it's called. Well, yeah. And manual specify animation length, and no, manual length is interrupted. Okay, so what else? Ability has a length of 1, and you can see that our animation lasts longer than the ability, and this is fine. We can have that. It doesn't matter. We can also say finish all tasks when we don't know how long child of, like this can be dynamic. We can bind animation, so we don't know how long it takes. And we can force the ability to wait for every task, of every animation, every sound to finish before it ends. But I think this is the entire setup so far. It targets self. Let's do verbose, and also we should be able to print verbose to the screen. Or maybe it was in plugin settings. If we go here, project settings, able, yeah, output to screen. Okay, we got it set. Verbose lifetime, 10 seconds. Prediction tolerance 0. That's great. This is in seconds, in milliseconds. Oh, it has a tooltip. I love it. If ability is player locally or not, disabilities played. It's to 2, that means like that's your ability. 2 of the expected order is fine. Default is 0. Exact. Okay, so this is the order of playing. So we want it to be 0. And we want this to work like this. Okay, so we want it to be an active ability. We don't want it to be passive. We want it to be concurrent against other active abilities, and you can have only one, like an active action that are partaking in a very specific time. And any other action that you try to take will try to cancel this action. So it is not passive. However, it is looping. And we'll have a prepare time and a loop time, and probably all animations follow similar pattern when it comes down to preparing. It doesn't have to be exactly as the animation. Okay, so we got like heavy start, and it lasts, I don't know how long because it's saying frames. Oh my god. Okay. Whoa, that is so long. Okay, so I would say half a second because this takes forever to prepare. Like 1 second is here already. Hmm. 0.7, we can then switch it. So let's say that our loop start is at 0.5 and ends at 1. So we'll run this part of the ability, like from the start, every task here, and whatever is between 0.5 gets repeated. Now, is this getting repeated? Well, no, because this task starts here. If we make the loop here, then this will get repeated. So we need to make sure that our repetition is inside the task itself, so inside the animation. So we do this, max iteration is 0, so infinite. And to keep this loop, we want it to be channeled. And if we pass conditions, we don't pass conditions, we fail, that means that we succeeded. So it is channeled. Or do we have to make it channeled? We might do it branchable. Yeah, let's do it like this. And our tag container must have proper ability for what this is, an identifier for any other abilities to access like this. Okay, we don't change anything else. This is an active looping ability. Let's make a test for it. So let's actually go into our abilities, ordinary, new folder, and let's do it long sort, and here we'll have we can just put every long sort attack ability here in one folder, doesn't really hurt. Let's make an animation montage. Here it is for our skeleton. I will call it animation montage underscore, and what do we want to call it? Long sort attack forward. Okay, so long sort attack forward has a slot of upper body, and we can reset it because otherwise it will not display properly animations, and we can get animations here. So we just say long, heavy, and D is down, F is forward, so we have start, and we have heavy idle, right? We got those two. So if we play it now, oh, this is forward. I would prefer it to be backward, I guess. You know what? This is forward. This is good. So this is forward, right? So this is how our animation montage looks like right now. But we want this part to loop, and only this part. So we go into montage sections, and you see that we have this default section, right? So what we need to do, we need to add a new montage section, and we want to call it loop. And it automatically snapped to a place where the two animations are connecting. So now we are running this section and then running this section, like you can see here. So we can select what is going to play next, and we can do default loop, default loop, default loop, and we'll just continue playing between those. But what we want to do is just play another loop. And he now understands that we are playing loop multiple times in a row, which means that we probably want to just continue it. You see that? This is exactly what we were aiming at. Blend in, blend out, 0.25 is great. Blend out, let's make it smaller, like 0.1. But it's still not like 0, it will not be instant. Or you know what, let's do 0.25 as well. No, we need to make it smaller, like 15 at least, okay. And let's make it not linear, but heavy cube. Okay, so we got this, we play from the start, play it once, and then we hold, and we hold forever. So we go here and we just push it here. Montage, not animation instance, this is just a montage. So if we say playability, this should play the first part and then go into loop. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's not handling that very well. So it is trying to run this animation multiple times. Okay, no worries. What we can do actually here, we can say that this task, I'm pretty sure I can do. Of course, it's inheritable. If we go into default, okay, that's terrible. Say continue to try to stop it. Okay, refresh. Okay. But it still does that every 5 seconds. Why? I remember I set it up like this before. Okay, we're gonna have to probably do it like in 3 steps instead of 2 steps as I wanted. Which kind of sucks. But, well, it's doable. So, let's make a copy of it. Forward loop. Type forward start. Okay, and we also need end, and we want also forward fast. So 4 different animations. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, let's open all 4 of them. So this is the forward loop. So we just want to delete this, and we want to delete this, and we want to say that this is loop. Okay, so this is looping. We want to delete this, and we want to delete this. So this is now just start, and this is the end. So none of those animations. Long, heavy end, and forward. Yeah, no, and no loop. And yeah, it's just literally this. So we start with this position and we just stop. Okay. And this is, oh wait, this is forward start. So it's just this, so I probably mistyped fast. Yes. Long attack F. So it's like this, and this one. Okay. So it's either this, or it's this. It's this, or this. Well, I can decide which one I like best. Maybe this one. Yeah, let's use this one. Okay. So now we have 4 montages. And we can say this one. Let's say that the entire ability is 1 second, even though this is longer. And okay, so this one is not looping, it's channeled. It's require an input value. The condition is input action, and now how do we use, oh, enhance, it's here. Okay, enhance, use enhance input action is just primary trigger, and it will automatically read if it's true or false. So it requires to hold primary trigger, and this is not a looping or animation. It will run once. 1.3, that's very long. Let's make it just 1. And when it finishes, it goes into branched, and we're going to add a task called branch. So if we hold long enough to get to 1, something like, well, less, let's do 0.9 to 1. So if we get to this point, want to branch an ability, want to create branching, and this will be a variable which will be called loop ability. Turn here. Static value is irrelevant for us. So this will branch to this binding, and there's no condition. If we get to here, that means that we are still channeling and everything is fine. And we can just branch. Now, if we screw up this channel condition, we want to go into branched. And what means is that here on event graph, how are they called? Event on ability branch. Okay. So we go back here and say, oh, we need to do it like this. Function of ability on ability branch. Okay. So on ability branch, we want to call parent function always, whatever it does. And now we want to branch into basically fast attack. So we want to get context ability component, and we want to say ability, and create ability context. And from here we can say, well, we already got component. Want to copy owner. Want to copy instigator. And we want to, from this copy, make new context. And want to then promote the variable and say fast. Fast attack, and it's also set up. Okay. So now if we go here, we will branch to one of ability, which is the loop ability, and we will go to fast attack if we manage to not meet the channel condition, right? But if we meet the channel condition and we reach this point, we'll branch to this nonetheless. So let's see what will happen. We want variables on this. On this we don't really need. And this is inheritable, obviously. So this is attack trigger. And once we set it up, it will be super easy to set up next abilities. The first setup is the worst, because we have to do a lot of custom stuff. Okay, so this is attack start. Okay, and now we want to create another ability, which is a fantasy ability template. We'll call it AB_attack loop. and then we want to make another one. Enable ability of ability template. Okay, I call it AB underscore attack execute, or attack end would be actually more in line with what we named the montages. And we want a last one, which is also Fantasy ability template, and we want to say it is AB underscore attack fast. Okay, so we got start covered, we got the template. Let's go to loop. Loop has some stamina requirement of 0, priority of 5. Client can cancel, of course he can cancel. Okay, it is an active ability that we branch to, and it is looping ability and has a task of animation. And we can just do a default one, so attack forward loop. And this is montage, looping. So in case we forgot to do looping inside the montage itself, we don't want to reset or stop. And we don't care about any of those. And it is inheritable, and loop doesn't have to play on server as well. Or should it? No, it doesn't. No verbals and inherit. Did we change that? Yes, we did. Okay, this actually don't really have anything else, that it is channeled. There's a channel condition. Condition is input. Input is enhanced, use enhanced, primary trigger, and now this will be success, and our input is negated. So if we release the primary trigger, then we run the success, or we can just use branch for that. So we wouldn't have anything here. So to channel that, you have to have continue to press the input. Okay, so it's channeled, and then we do a branch, and this branch is taking the entire thing. Oh, and the ability time is just like 4 seconds or something. And branch task is also taking the entire ability. And it's looping the entire thing. If it's channeled, does it have to loop? And if it's channeled, does it have to? Oh, we could do it like this. Okay, I have to test that. So if I have attack start, and I have this, and I go into this start, I can just open it, add loop. The less abilities we have, the better. Okay. We do a new montage section. Oh no, not halberd. heavy oh, it's called idle. Okay. Okay. And we go into ability start, and we say it's channel, but it's not looping. And this one doesn't have to loop because it already loops, and this should last forever. Okay. Okay, well, we want that. So, okay, we can do it like this. So we're playing this. Start forward. Forward start. So let's get back to it. We're using this looping animation. We are not let's just leave this, we need that. Okay, we're doing this. We do want to rest animation state on end. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Okay. So we got attack start, right? So this is a channel ability, and we have an input, and this input is enhance input condition of primary trigger. And if we fail to channel, we are interrupting instead of branching. So on branch, we after all don't want to do anything on branch. On ability branch, so we are deleting this. Okay. And we can delete this. On dynamic, on get dynamic property ability. Yes, we can delete that as well. So we have clean here, and we just do this. So it will continue to channel as long as we are holding this. And even though these tasks end and ability would end, it will continue to channel. Interrupted. Okay, let's test it out. So attack start. Let's make this attack start. And let's just start testing it out. So we have the primary trigger, which is my left mouse button. We get direction, doesn't matter what's the direction, and we're doing this attack ability. Let's test it on single player first. So we got the sword, and I hold my mouse button, and it continues to reset for some reason. And I release. Oh, and now it's fine. Interesting. So let's go here. Let's go to our template. Let's do one more thing. String ability. Oh wait, no, it's not going to be this. Print text, format text, ability name started, and this name is self, and we can just get name. Okay, and we want to do this on end, ended. I want to say interrupted. I want to say branched. Okay. Play. Okay, so ability started, ended, started, ended, started, ended, started, ended, started, ended, started. So ability must be looping for the channel condition to work, because otherwise it will still just end. And we can't make an infinite ability length, right? I think we can. We might do it like this. Let's see what happens. So started, and now it's waiting for the task to complete. Oh, and it's ended. Okay, so it ends when the task completes. So this, but if we say that it's in a loop, that should not end. It should continue. Let's see. Yeah. No, it still ended and started again. Okay. But we want to be able to hold forever. Okay. So let's delete this again. Let's delete this section. We have just the start. Still have this end. So we can use that. And we can go into here. And into our attack start. And we can do another task of animation. And this will be the loop. And heritable, no, and no. One, 317, 1, 3, 1, 7. What? There's something wrong with the visuals here. Okay, it's 1, 317, and it ends when it ends. So now we'll say looping, and we'll say 317, and loop end is at, how long is the ability? Let's say that 6 seconds. Oh no, it has to be shorter. Let's make it like 3. Okay, so it ends at 3. Okay, so now it's looping, so it will cast this, and it's not looping, and no. Stop, reset, play. Okay, why this is like this? Let's open it up again. Okay. Nope. Nope. Unless we do like 132. Nope. Still stops. Okay. Oh, this one is looping. This one is not. Okay. I tried. How did I? There was a button or something that was fixing the length of the ability to the length of the task. Yes, 317. 317. Okay, we got this. It's not looping. It is channeled. It is attack. Fast attack is going to be fast. Loop attack is going to be loop. And now we're doing branches. So branch here is add a custom ability. So it is being bound to fast attack. So it's bound. It has a condition. It says on input, enhance input. And this is the primary trigger. And it's it must be released, so we need to negate it. Yeah, it's here, logic, negate. So if we release the attack button, we want to go into fast attack immediately. And then we do another branch. And this one starts at 1 and ends at 1317. And this one says, oh, actually, another binding. Oh, and it uses same binding. So to know which one we are doing, we need to differentiate them by something. So identifier, this one is fast branch. This one is loop branch. And I want to go here. Oh wait, it's this. It's this. Create view binding, and this is the loop branch. Okay, and it loops. Condition. Is there always? Oh, there's an always. Okay, that's great. So this goes into loop. And it goes into the attack loop ability. So it's going to attack loop ability. Let's disable this channel. Let's make it just continuous loop. Okay. Upper body, yes. Let's test it out. So I am here. Oh, I need to do the fast attack as well, just to see the difference. So core, attack fast. I need animation, play animation, and this will be attack forward fast. And this is dynamic montage. And no. This one definitely plays on server. It's inheritable. And we have the attack end, add task, play animation, forward end, and want to say dynamic montage, no, play on server, inheritable, yes. Okay, so we got this, we got this. Okay, we got everything now. Should start working. So let's take a look. I press, I start. Okay, it branched. I'm in loop. It doesn't change. Just continue in a loop. That's great. And I release and nothing happens, of course. But it did go into loop properly. So if I press and release, oh, it just says interrupted. Started, interrupted. Okay, so it goes interrupted. But as it goes interrupted, why the fast attack doesn't go? Stamina requirement 0, priority this. It inherits everything. We need this verbose. Okay, on input, logic, negate, enhanced, primary trigger, pass all condition. Let's see. Call for task. Branch ability is null. Well, sure it is. Shouldn't be a problem. This loop binding definitely works. Like I could leave it none and the binding works. Oh, I can have only one branch binding? No. No way. No way. Okay, but I don't need to do binding. I can just remove binding. I can make this loop. I can make this fast. I don't need binding. I can go here. I can say dynamic property. Just delete that. And then we don't need those. We just have to set them one by one and make sure they are inherited. Yes, yes. Okay, so now interesting. this is negating it. Maybe you recently pressed on both, and this is just always goes into attack loop. Okay, and attack loop attack loop is just attack loop, but we want attack loop to actually also branch to attack end. Want to loop to attack end on condition of on input, and it's enhance input logic and trigger, primary trigger logic operate. Oh, interesting. So it seems like the attack end did run, but it has super small blend in, blend out. So I'm going to do it like this. And we're back into this looping animation. Why? Okay, I'm doing something very much wrong here. I'm trying to understand what. Okay, I'm not touching the fantasy ability template. This one works okay. I might just start over the abilities for the attacks. Like something is very wrong about them. I don't know what still. Oh, yes. Let's make it none. Yes. Okay, let's make again a new one. Slowly, just think about what we need to accomplish here. AB underscore attack trigger. So when to do an attack, there's an active ability. It has an animation task that is running the start animation, and then we want to add another animation, which is the loop animation. Okay. Then we want this loop to start at 137. Yeah? Oh, 317. 575. So 575. Oh no, it's not here. 575. Okay, now we have it properly set. We want to say that it's active, stamina required is 6, client can cancel, and it is looping animation 1.318, and then loop is here, max iteration is infinite. Is it channeled? We don't care. We just want to just play it for first and see what happens. Single note ability, dynamic montage. No, no. Scale, yes. Inherit. Inherit. montage, no. I don't know if this changes anything, I don't think so. But yeah, we play. Okay. Okay, let's go into this loop montage. And let's say that blend in time is 0 and blend out time is 0, which just blends instantly. Still trying to do that. True will treat the manual specified length as an interrupter. Okay. So let's just test that. And this is attack trigger. One step at a time. We trigger the ability and it does this. Interesting. I would say that the loop is properly preserved, but it's not. So we literally can do it in just one run. That is annoying. Okay. Okay. 317. 317. Okay. Cache cooldown. There is no cooldown, so don't worry about that. Okay. It isn't channeled, it isn't anything. It's just this charge animation. It runs, okay, and it ended. So when it ends, still linear. Oh no, not this one. Start this one. Why does it twist like this? Why does it end immediately? There's something very wrong about this setup. Maybe it just handles montages in a very different way than I thought. One. Oh, that's interesting. So I have an issue with the anim graph itself, apparently. So let's go into anim graph. Yes. Oh my god, I forgot to do that for one of the slots and for this one as well. Oh no. Yeah. Oh, but it's still doing that. I don't want to reset everything. Why are you doing that? Okay, now. Okay, now it works properly. Okay, 0.25. Okay, I don't see a problem here. Let's maybe do it like 10.5. Okay, so this is cancel basically. Okay, that works. So I'm canceling. Okay, it starts to look properly, at least this one part. We're going here. We got the attack trigger. So now we want to do a branch. Okay, a branch. 1 second branch, that's great. And we want to branch into another ability that we just deleted. But yeah, let's do a fast attack. Let's just do those two working properly at first. Okay, we call it AB underscore attack fast. And this just is an animation. Fast. Okay, it's this one. No. Yes. Okay. Play. Bam. Okay, stop. So this is just this. Now we want to properly branch to it under condition of input. Right. Enhanced. Yes. Primary trigger. Logic negate. So it must be released. And it must pass all conditions and it okay. So hold release. Okay, that works. Bow. 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 Okay, bow. I can like at any point I can just release. Okay. Okay. Let's do now another one. And this ability, let's call it AB underscore attack loop. This one will be probably a tricky one because it has a looping animation. And it goes like this. Montage, loop, no. Inheritable, nothing else. Okay. And it is looping forever. Let's see. Oh, and now we need to make Let's just run this loop to see if it even works properly and displays properly. Okay. Okay, so this is the loop. Makes sense? And in the loop, we forgot to do like 0.25, 0.25, and I actually prefer linear. Okay, just okay. Okay, it works in general. So now we need to branch to it from our main ability, so this trigger ability. So we're at another task called branch, and this branch starts at 1 and finishes at 1, 3, 1, 7, and it's saying that we want to go into loop if it passes on conditions, which is always. Okay. Oh, and this branch I also want to have this in everything. So this branch it should just branch, so it should stop the ability. That's how branches work. Okay, so again, release. Oh, I forgot to change the ability class to trigger. Okay, so let's see if our fast attack still works. Yes, very well. Poke. It went flying somewhere. But yeah, it works. That's great. But let's now do this charge attack, and it kinda worked. And now it just goes into you. Okay. So we got this branch, and we got this branch, and maybe this should actually last longer. It will end at 1.2, and this starts at 1.2. No, 1.317 and starts at 1.2. Play. Okay. And now I hold, and I go into this and blend in for both. Okay, so now I'm in the loop. That's great. A loop is actually looping. So now I need to just do start blend out. Let's make it smaller again, so it matches the blending of this. But why does it end my montage when the next one is in line? Like, this works good. This doesn't. Why? Okay, blend in 0. straight like this. Almost. And if I go into this and say blend out time is 0, that's strange. Okay, now this works good. 25 linear. Oh, so it can run multiple blends at the same time. I didn't know that. So this just immediately goes here. What? What? Just ended. Branch started, ended. Branch started, ended. Okay, fast attack. Okay. Finish statement now. Something strange about montages. Why? Okay, important update. A few errors I had to fix. So in the character data, regenerate stamina didn't trigger because I forgot to set alive to be by default true. It is important. Also change max stamina to something bigger so it regenerates faster. The try reduce stamina had an error. It directly reverted the value and forgot to set the stamina first. So it didn't really consume any stamina. So try reduce didn't work. And has enough stamina also had an error because it was set like this, when the correct value is that the stamina is greater or equal than required stamina. So this had to be reverted. Those three errors were really making a pain out of working with abilities. So yeah, I'm back to debugging animations in the ability state. Okay, I just had to scrap a bit and I wasted some time, unfortunately, about 3 hours trying to figure something out. But yeah, I think I got it. I think I got it. I can now actually make proper abilities as I wanted. And once I do these templates, setting up all abilities will be super easy. So what I ended doing is I have a attack trigger, attack loop, attack execute, and also a fast attack. So 4 abilities that we're going to discuss. Let me close everything and just show you how they are set up. Okay, those 4 open up. Let's start with trigger. We have the ability trigger. Its parent is AB fantasy ability. No exit. Okay, it was annoying me. So it is the AB fantasy ability template. So it is just running some basic functions like required stamina, priority, and can client cancel. So I got this exposed as variables. So any attack, if I even want to consider starting an attack, requires 6 stamina, right? So if it can execute, and it actually does execute, I have to make sure that everything is working as I want it to work. So let's go through it. It does this, priority. Length is automatically set by the length of the animation. It is not passive, it is not looping, it's just running once. It has this tag, and it is just default replication. So for the animation itself, it looks like this. Okay. So for the animation itself, stop. Why doesn't it? Okay, sometimes the preview is messed up because this is just running once, right? It's not looping or anything like that. So for this, we are doing a dynamic montage. Now, dynamic montage means that we can input here a montage or we can input animation. Right now, I have just F start animation. So I am running this. It looks like this. Okay. I'm running this as dynamic montage, non-loop. It doesn't stop on interruption. It doesn't reset animation state on end, which is also important. So disable those two. I don't need verbose or anything for that. And this is the dynamic montage setting. So if I have an animation instance here, then yes, this will be taken in account, and I need to fill all of that. If I set up here a montage, it will take all those values from the montage itself and will ignore those values, except this one. Do not say stop all montages, because it stops all montages in all slots, so you can't have like a landing additive animations while holding a weapon or anything like that, so don't do that. Basic setup, blend in, blend out, 0.25, slot name, upper body. Although I should probably say that you can also say that it is default group dot upper body. This is like the actual full way, but if you specify just upper body, it will know that you mean the default group, because you can have multiple groups for montages. So you got this, you need to spell check that, it has to be written correctly. I don't care for the wind up animation to play on the server. It might be good if you are really caring about the collision of the character while in the animation. You know what, maybe let's do that. Let's play it on the server as well. And because it is a montage, it will be updated on the server, and the pose that we end up with will be the same pose on the server for collision tests. And we are inheriting this to every sub, and we can just change values of this task, but we will every next ability that inherits from this one will have this already set up. Then we have 2 branches. One branch is saying on attack trigger. So on input, that input is enhanced logic. Use enhanced input. Enhanced input is my primary trigger. Logic is negate. So if I release mouse button until first second passes, what I want to do and it says that it must pass everything. You should always have this basically sign. If you don't, it will say true no matter what you sign here. I don't know why, but this is just how it works. Like it will go through this condition and just work. Okay, so up to 1 second, I want to branch into attack fast. And I will have to change that in every child of this ability. But in general, I want to just branch to another ability. But if I pass 1 second mark, I want to also branch, but to attack loop. So I want to go into the loop where I am just holding position and waiting for a heavy attack. And I'm doing the same. I need to say that... so if I go to 1 second, I always branch. So immediately after 1 second, I go into the loop. So the loop is a bit different because here I have dynamic montage and I have this. But in the loop, if I have... if I don't use a montage, instead I use long idle attack forward. So this one, right? So it's this animation. It is looping. You can see that it is looping, right? Without issues. And if I go into attack loop and I just say loop, dynamic montage, disable, like I did, everything stays the same. And then I specify upper body 0.25, 0.25, everything, right? Number of loops. Oh, can I specify infinite or something? If I specify 0, would it go into infinity or it will break? Let's see. And also play on server, why not? So let's do that. Let's go into loop, and it completely broke. 0 means 0 loops. Okay. So I can specify like 99, but it is still a finite number, right? So if I go into loop and I hold, and I go into loop, and this loop continues, and it continues, and it will work 99 times, and then it will just reset. So to avoid that, instead of doing that, and to avoid using all those settings, just create a montage, like here, and in this montage I have default group, and I just loop it. So this is the default setup of the montage. I just changed this group to default group upper body, and here you have the montage section, and you say what is the next section. Next section is default, which means that it will loop. And now I have a looping forever. This is into infinity montage. If I go here and specify it here, then I don't need to do this loop anymore. I can just play it once and it will not end because I disabled stop on interrupt. So the animation is not being stopped when the ability is interrupted. However, montage is being stopped when you blend in another montage. So basically any other ability triggers, then we're going to do that. So I hit play now, and I hold and loop, and now I will loop absolutely forever until I release, bow. And if I hold and release before 1 second passes, I will go into this quick stop immediately, and I can do it this fast, or I can like just go into it with this speed, or I can go into and now power attack. So this is now powerful, and this is just a stab. Okay. So let's go through this ability as well. So only the attack trigger requires stamina. So it requires 6. It has a priority. Client can cancel. None other requires stamina at all, and all can be cancelled. Only the first one. So the first one is like a opening gate for any other of those attacks. So we have to also set this ordinary attack. Ordinary attack, and loop is also ordinary attack. Okay, and for the fast attack, because it doesn't cost stamina, the player could trigger it as a cheat. We need to do function override can execute, can ability execute, and it must run the parent first and make an end statement. Has tag. Oh, this is on the ability. Okay. Get self ability component, and this need to has tag, and the tag must be ability ordinary attack. So, and it says has tag, which means that the component, it has a tag container, but we can also say, does it include executing abilities? So you add whatever is here and all abilities tags, and you say yes. So if we have ability that says attack, then we can execute this. And now this need to go into fast, into loop. Okay. And into attack end as well. Okay. So now if we don't have already an attack, which requires 6 stamina to gain this tag, then we cannot go into heavy attack execute, or we can't skip it. We can't skip this ability. This one has to trigger for the others to trigger as well. Okay, just compile everything, and we have a working combat system. So we got stamina that you can see in my top left corner when it is regenerating. If it's full, it just stops. So I consume 6 stamina, and ooh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, interesting. So this doesn't work. So can ability execute is the parent's ability execute. Attack or ability ordinary attack. Yes. It checks for this tag. I mean, print string. No, print text. Let's do print text, format text. Is it like this? Ability tries to execute, but parent can execute is 0, and has tag dot attack is 1. Okay, ability is just self. 0 is this, and 1 is this. What? That's interesting. Okay, so on attack trigger, I probably okay, that's strange. I'm gonna have to report that. On ability start, I want to say out. Okay, ability component. Okay, just add tag. Attack. Okay, and let's see if this works. Okay, it works. So it has problem. Oh, that makes sense. Because when we are branching, we are first ending the ability. So we cannot query for the tag that the ability has. Okay, so we have to add the ability tag by hand. Oh, and by the way, always add call to parent first. That's super important. And then add this tag. And on attack end, yes, this works. So on attack end, I want to do, no, not new function. Override on ability end. Well, I can do on start attack end. I can do on ability start. Yeah. I want to call parent function, and then I want to get component self, and I want to remove tag, which is this attack tag. So when I finish when I start execution of the attack, I can now remove the tag. So I need to do this on ability start and copy it here as well. On ability start. Got it. Okay, and oh wait, I shouldn't do it like this. Let's maybe do it like this, just in case. Sometimes copying stuff over is not good. It like stores some of the signature of the old object. At least in Unreal Engine 5 I have this problem all the time. Okay, so I do this and I can now execute. And I do this and I can stab and I can't because I don't have stamina. Okay, and if I try to skip the attack start, so if I try to skip the attack trigger, which costs stamina, and directly go into fast attack, I could do that by, just cheating. I could try that and go directly into fast attack. It should fail. It should not allow me to go into fast attack. And I can't. So I now have hacker safe ability system that runs on montages. And this should work on multiplayer. So let's see. Automatically, but just by that, we'll go through some tests. This should work on all clients. So let's run 2 clients, dedicated server, play. This one goes full screen. I'm going to stand here and watch this guy. And this guy is going to charge and stab. And oh, that's interesting. That is strange. So it doesn't display execution. Is it again? Did it display properly start of animation? Yes. Just the execution didn't. Interesting. I wonder why that is. It's probably due to something. Let's see. Okay. So it does execute properly, but it doesn't display the fast attacks properly. Tag out container. So maybe because, oh, okay, yeah. So branching is happening on the server side. So I need, it's in class settings, no, in class defaults. I want to say, oh, I can do it here. This is the class defaults. There should be something called skip. No, maybe it's in the graph. It's a function. Let me go through them real fast. Calculate damage, can branch. Or maybe it was in the project settings under the plugin. I want to be oh yeah, this one. True skip the can ability execute logic when the server tells the client to play ability. Let's disable that because this was the default value. Maybe this has something to do with it. Oh, yep. No. And sometimes it just doesn't. Oh, that's really annoying. Oh, and by the way, it is the same. I mean, this guy is replicating. Oh no, it's not properly as well. So there are some issues still. So it wasn't that. I have to look into that as well. But in general, in single player, it works absolutely flawlessly, exactly how I wanted. So this is just it. Just you can charge, you can release at any time, and you can do a fast stab if you have stamina, of course, which happens every like 3 seconds, unless you save some stamina by just charging or holding. So first of all, in settings, you want to always forward to server, and where was this option? For server ability activation. So basically, server forces client to activate. You want it to be true. And the problem I was running with the abilities is that we have remove gameplay tag task, and we have add gameplay tag task. and it's better to use them instead of trying to query for the ability tags, because when we branch from one ability to another, the previous ability ends, so we cannot get its tags because it's already ended. So how we do that is that there is this ability trigger that has a cost to it. So when we pay this cost of stamina, then we receive this tag. And when we receive this tag, we have linked with this, then we can branch. And this tag is gatekeeping us from doing fast attack and attack end. So, and those are removing tags, so they can so they can remove the gate, and you need to pay the stamina cost again for it to work. So the problem was running is that apparently gameplay tag container on the ability component isn't replicated. So you need to add and remove tags. So all of those tasks, this task and this task, they have to run on Realm, client, and server. Previously, I was just running on server. So server was doing attacks correctly and client didn't. That was the problem. So now if I test on dedicated server and I hit play, I can properly get stabs and I can get into this. You can see print strings of my stamina, how it's a bit out of sync because of the lag between client and server, but it doesn't matter. Like, I can now start fighting. That's great. So it works as intended. I got jumping, we got everything. So now we can go and do other abilities and other weapons. So yeah, this is the setup for melee. So I have one ability that is parent to every ability I will ever make. And then I have parent abilities for fast attacks and for like attack trigger, loop, and end. And now we're going to have to assign abilities that are specific to specific weapons. So I will do it off screen because it will take probably an hour or something, and I'll be back. So see you in the next video.